100 naira ko. Let's go.
Good morning, viewers. You're welcome to the program Lagos This Morning. Today we'll be bringing to you latest topic in Lagos State and also across the country. I am Alajide Taufik Alamde.
I am Adine Adela. Welcome to Lagos This Morning.
Alright, let's go straight into the headlines for this morning. Obasanjo backing Peter Obi for president. OSUNTOKUN. Again, ASUU accuses Gbajabiamila of deceit as reps disagree. The IGP recommends immediate suspension of ASP Drambi Vandi. Okupe deserves a better exit. That is coming from the Labour Party DG OSUNTOKUN. Before BVAS, some people would sit in a room and write election results. That is coming from the Governor Inuwa Yahaya. PDP threatens sanction as G5 governors meet Tinubu in UK. Alright, let's start with you.
PDP threatens sanction as G5 governors meet Tinubu in UK. The 5 aggrieved PDP governors have met with the All Progressive Congress presidential candidate Bola Tinubu in London, the United Kingdom. The AP standard bearer was said to have lobbied for the endorsement of the 5 governors during the marathon meeting which was held on Tuesday. But hours after the governors' meeting with Tinubu, the PDP said it was not aware of their parley with the ruling party's presidential candidates, noting that as far as it was concerned, the governor were in the UK on vacation.
Well, the PDP threatening to sanction the G5 governors. Well, I think the PDP has more to lose than the G5 governors. The governors don't have anything to lose when it comes to the PDP because they've actually worked in their respective states. Then they are closer to the people, unlike Atiku Abubakar, who is the presidential candidate of PDP. So now if the PDP actually sanctions these 5 governors and they go to support either Tinubu or Atiku, it will be a loss to the PDP. So I actually don't see PDP sanctioning these 5 governors. The election is just a month away, just January. It's January that is in between December and February 25 when the election will be commencing. So I think the PDP will only threaten them. They can't sanction them because they have more to lose. When we talk about balancing between the two, the PDP needs these 5 governors, but these 5 governors don't really need the PDP because in their respective states they have their stakeholders there, and they've actually worked and they are closer to the people. It is easier for them to convince the people than for the federal power or the PDP campaign council to actually sanction these 5 governors. So I don't see them sanctioning these 5 governors. And what do you think?
Well, I don't think they would sanction them because they really need the help of the G5 governors for Atiku to emerge as the president, which is the truth. So they can't sanction. They are just going to threaten. They can't sanction.
Well, it was we saw it in the news yesterday that it was rumored that these G5 governors went to the UK to meet with the APC presidential flag bearer Tinubu. So now, what does it mean for the Labour Party flag bearer Peter Obi?
Well, I don't know. They haven't made it known yet if they are going to be supporting Tinubu, so we are still looking. Just because of a meeting with Tinubu doesn't mean they have endorsed Tinubu.
So
that's just it.
Probably they are weighing their options between Tinubu.
Or probably they are trying to spite Atiku and trying to give a warning that they should do their bidding. If not, they support this person.
Yeah. It might be that. It's a two-way thing. They might be trying to weigh their options from Tinubu and Peter Obi, and also on the other hand, they might be trying to buy more time for Atiku to actually call them to in a meeting to actually let ASUU go. Then the PDP will be united. They will be united again, because if it continues like this until February 25, I don't see the PDP actually winning this election. I can't see them winning without the G5 governors. Because that means it would have lost Oyo State, the Rivers State, Abia State, Benue State as well. And these 5 governors, they actually deciders in their state, and they've actually worked there. So I actually don't think the PDP can sanction these 5 governors. All right, let's go to the next one. The next one quickly. Obasanjo backing Peter Obi for President Akin OSUNTOKUN. The new DG of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council has said that former President Olusegun Obasanjo is backing Peter Obi for president in 2023. OSUNTOKUN, who was a former political advisor to Obasanjo, stated this on Wednesday while featuring as a guest on Channels TV's Politics Today program, monitored by our correspondent. OSUNTOKUN, when asked if Obasanjo is fully backing Obi's presidential campaign, he responded yes in an assertive tone. He said that Obasanjo is a father figure to him and the former DG of Labour Party, Doyin Okukwe, and not an ally, when asked of their close relationship with the former president. So now what does it mean for Obasanjo to back Peter Obi?
Yeah, Obasanjo has always made his support to Peter Obi public. That he's not hiding it. Like, he's supporting Peter Obi fully because he said it is the southern part that should become that should like have a president coming from that side. So I think Obasanjo backing Peter Obi is a good thing to me.
For Peter Obi. Well, when we look at it, like what's the voting capacity of Obasanjo? Like how many votes, how many people can he pull for Peter Obi?
Obasanjo is not a small person too.
Well,
he's not a small person when it comes to politics.
Yeah, he's a former
president, so he will know the strings. Not illegal strings, but he will know the strings to pull to make sure Peter Obi emerge the president.
Wow. Well, that's a good one from Obasanjo. But some people will come out to say, Obasanjo, you are Yoruba man, then why are you not supporting Tinubu as well? Because when we look at other people from the southeast that have gone against Peter Obi's ambition, we've seen backlash from the supporters of Peter Obi to these people, just like Otto Eze recently saying that he does not support Peter Obi and his ambition, but people came calling for his head. Like, why would he do that? You know, there's no unity between the Southeasterners and the likes. But when it comes to the Southwest here, I think they don't really look into that, because Obasanjo is Yoruba, then Peter Obi is Igbo, but he's supporting this person, and there's only little backlash from people to Obasanjo. Probably they think Obasanjo can't really pull that vote for Peter Obi, because now looking at Ogun State is APC. From their governor Dapo Abiodun. So he will be taking the larger chunk of vote from Ogun State. So where would Obasanjo actually get the vote for Peter Obi? Well, I think he's a former president, so I think it's just an opinion leader. There will be some people who would feel convinced, like, okay, if Obasanjo can endorse this person, that means I can as well do the same. That means because he's more enlightened and he knows how to run the country. He has been a president before. So if Obasanjo can, then that means this person can be trusted. So I think that's just the strategy behind it. Alright, you can be part of this program by dropping your comment. Let us have your comment. Obasanjo backing Peter Obi. What does it mean for the Labour Party presidential candidates? What does it mean? And what's the voting power? What's the voting power of Obasanjo? Can Obasanjo really pull the crowd for Peter Obi in Ogun State that it is APC owned? Okay, let's move on quickly.
All right, before BVAS, some people would sit in a room and write election results. Governor Inuwa Yahaya. Governor Inuwa Yahaya of Gombe State has praised the Independent National Electoral Commission for introducing the bimodal voter authentication system, which is said has eliminated any possibility of electoral fraud in 2023 elections. Speaking on Tuesday, December 27, in Akko local government area of Gombe State, Governor Inuwa disclosed that before the introduction of BVAS, some people would sit in a room and write election results. He said, before now, some people would sit in a room and write result, declaring whoever the winner of election. But with BVAS, we are not scared because we have supporters.
Well, we've seen so many things like that before, and we've heard reports of Northerners actually writing votes, actually writing election results in a room. And also underage voting, vote buying is so rampant more on that side than the south here. So I actually think talking about BVAS and this forthcoming 2023 election, I think BVAS would actually play a huge role in this election. But when we look at Osun State election, it was confirmed. They said that there was overvoting. So if they can actually do that kind of thing there, if they can be overvoting in Osun election and Ekiti State election, then when we talk about the whole country, that means they will surely be overvoting to some extent. So I think it's not actually about the machine, it's about the personnel. It's about those people manning those machines, those people operating the machine.
It can easily be hacked, probably.
Well, they said it can be hacked. There is no system that can't be hacked because there's someone who actually built the software, and that person will actually have a way to hack into the system. But aside hacking, it is someone who would be controlling the system. Someone will be there. So if that person has actually, collected money from another person, just to buy vote or something, that person would configure the machine to actually favor himself, or reconfigure the machine. So it's not about the machine. BVAS won't work on its own. It is people who would actually work with BVAS. Yes, they would actually use this BVAS for the 2023 election. So the governor coming out to say BVAS would actually do something, though it would in some way, but if those people manning the machine are not open-minded, if they don't want a better Nigeria, then they will surely do the negative. They would work in their own favor. They work against their opponent. So it's not really about the machine. We've seen so many technologies so far. We've seen the BVAS in Ekiti and Osun State as well, where there was overvoting and it was confirmed. How can they be overvoting with a machine? Because it should only be one man and one vote. Why would now there be overvoting? If the people manning the machines did not agree with those who want to carry out this overvoting stuff, then there won't be overvoting. So they should look more into the human capital, not actually the machine, because machines will always be machine. People will use this machine to actually work, not the other way around. Machines can't use themselves. So though I believe the BVAS will actually play a role to some extent, but there should be more emphasis on those people that would use the machine. That's just my candid opinion on the subject matter. All right, quickly let's move on to the next one. Okay, again, ASUU accuses Gbajabiamila of deceit. Reps disagree. The House of Representatives has berated the president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, over his claim that the Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, deceived the university lecturers into calling off their 8-month strike. In a statement issued on Wednesday, Chairman of the House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Benjamin Kalu, stated that at no time did Gbajabiamila agree with ASUU that lecturers would be paid for the period they were on strike. But Osodeke, in an interview with newsmen, insisted that ASUU called off a strike on October 14, 2022, due to a promissory letter signed by Gbajabiamila stating that a part of the union's salary would be paid. Well, when I actually saw the update that ASUU had called off strike because Gbajabiamila waded into the matter, I knew it would actually be a scam. I knew it was a scam because there was no money on the table. They didn't pay them to end the strike.
You just use words of the mouth.
Just to cajole them, make them feel good. And that was what Ngige was not doing. It was harsh with them. He didn't really speak all these kind of soft words. I think Gbajabiamila was just so wise to come down to their level, or would I say go up to their level, to actually speak in their language that they would understand. He didn't agitate, he didn't force them to stop the strike or something, the strike action. He actually spoke with them in a soft tone, then there's this promissory letter as claimed by the ASUU president that Gbajabiamila signed. And for him to sign the promissory letter, that means he's standing as a guarantor that this money would be paid if you end this strike action. So what does it mean like that for the student? Because that means another strike.
Another strike is about to begin, probably by next year.
Another strike again after 8 months strike. Well. I was actually reading a report this morning about people sharing their Japa experiences, and you see, so many people have gone out of this country for so many reasons, due to educational reason, change of location for greener pastures, and also I saw one as well why people tend to be less religious when they get abroad. I saw so many people's reports there, and they are, what they said. One person said, how can you be praying for a job in a country that is working? See, over there, even if you don't have a dime, you would go to school. You will go on student loan. Then they know they've provided job for you. After the school, then you get a job. Then you start paying back this loan gradually. It doesn't work that way in Nigeria here. So there are some things that just need to be done in the Nigerian setting. Nepotism is just too much. Just because you are in a position now, then you want to bring in your brother, you want to give your contract to your wife, you want to do so many bad things that are not being done over there. And now students are thinking, okay, we've resumed in November, but probably by January another strike might come again. Another strike, because if they don't pay these lecturers for the backlog of their salaries when they were on strike, who made them to go on strike? It's this same federal government. So it's actually, see, you don't beat a child and tell the child not to cry. It's either you choose one. Don't beat at all, or you beat the child and allow the child to cry. So I think it's just being manipulative. I think the federal government is just manipulating ASUU on this one. And they calling off the strike then. I was like, these people, it won't take too long before the strike will continue. Because they are not, you don't need to beg them to go back. Pay their money. Or tell them, okay, we'll pay this money within the next 3 years or within the next 2 years. We will be paying instrumentally. We'll be paying you bit by bit. You'll be able to pay it, or even if we say 5 years, just let them know, and it should be written down that, okay, it should be an agreement that, okay, we'll pay this salaries, this backlog, because we caused it. We made you guys to go on strike. Those teachers, those lecturers wouldn't have gone on strike if they were being paid, if their agitations were being met. So I think that's just it. I think the Nigerian students should actually brace up for another strike. That's just it. Alright, let's go on to the next one.
Okukwe deserves a better exit. OSUNTOKUN DGLP presidential campaign. The Director General of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council, Professor Akin OSUNTOKUN, has said that his predecessor, Doyin Okukwe, deserved a better exit. Recall that the High Court in Abuja had sentenced Okukwe to 2 years imprisonment for breaching the Money Laundering Act. Following the judgment, Okukwe resigned from his Following the judgment, Okukwe resigned from his position as the DG of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council. And instead, OSUNTOKUN was appointed. What does it mean by a better exit?
I don't know, because there is no better exit than that. Better exit as how should they throw a party for him, or they should, call all the Labour Party supporters to actually come and give him a farewell message or something, because he has been accused of breaching the Money Laundering Act. Then it is only an honorable thing to exit, just to leave that position, in order not to tarnish the image of Labour Party. So I don't think he actually deserve another kind of exit than that. I don't think so. On the next one, the IGP recommends immediate suspension of ASP Drambi Vandi. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, has recommended the immediate suspension of Assistant Superintendent of Police Drambi Vandi. The officer attached to the Ajah Divisional Headquarters of the Lagos State Police Command, responsible for the shooting and killing of Barrister Omobolanle Rahim. Bolanle was shot in the chest by the Trigger Happy Corp at Ajiwe, Ajah area of the state, while returning home from church service with her family on Christmas Day.
What suspension for what?
He recommended the suspension. He didn't order.
He didn't even order. He
He
recommended.
recommend like, okay, I feel he maybe he should be suspended. No, see, it's just something else in this country. Now look at it. Now we've seen his picture. The policeman that shot the other guy. We are yet to see any picture. Just because he has nobody, or because
Falz actually said like a public execution.
There should be public execution.
Should be done.
That is when, even me personally, that's when I will feel, okay, this government,
they are doing something.
They are on the right path.
Yeah.
A public execution should be televised. Everyone should see it, that okay, this guy has been taken away.
In fact, both of them, because we don't know what are they trying to cover up the first.
Probably they are trying to cover him up. Because I saw this Arise TV program yesterday, and what was his name? This Arise TV presenter, he actually said something. Rufai, he said, now this police officer, he said this thing would happen again. Like, it would happen. That is certain. There is no two waiting about it. Killing innocent civilians would happen again and again. But the question is, who is next? I'm very sure this lawyer would have heard of the ones in the past before, but unknowingly to her that she would actually be a victim of this thing. So who would be the next person? Now, when the guy won't happen on the 7th of December, people came out, people tried to like go to the police station to actually protest. They were tear gassed away and the likes. And people discussed it for like 1 week, then they rest. If not for this woman's case now, we would have still forgotten about the first one. So now probably they feel like people will still talk about this one for the next 1 week, then everybody will relax again. Then another one would happen probably January, February or March or something. It's not about if it will happen, it is about when and who will it be. So why should it continue like this? In a system whereby impunity is the order of the day, a police officer would actually open his mouth to tell you that I would kill you and nothing would happen. And he will do so because he knows that the system will favor him.
I'm very sure most of the police officers would have killed some people and probably without the government knowing about it.
Before, Uncle, just imagine that woman was driving alone. Like her husband was not there. She would have just the police officer would have just thrown this woman on the roadside or something. Then it would have been a different case. Like, okay, she was robbed or someone attacked her.
She was robbed and shot.
And also, the woman's sister was there in the car.
And
when he tried to approach the police officer cocked the gun again. So I think I'll just have to blame those that are around there, because I can't be there. Probably I don't know what would have happened. Probably I would be in police custody now because I would have done something drastic. You can't just pull a gun to someone like that. It should be pulled back at you too. You should know how it feels. I'm not even sure if he has ever experienced any gunshot before. They should put it on his body as well. I think there should be a public execution, should be signed into law, and it should be executed. Because we can't keep living in a society whereby even an armed robber is coming and police officer is coming, you first of all run from that police officer before you run from the armed robber. Because at times you can even beg the armed robber and they would actually leave you and just take your belongings. But the police officer can just shoot you at any time. He will tell you, I would kill you, then nothing will happen, and they will kill you. That's why at times it's not as if people can actually stand up for their rights or do something, but they know that these people are actually vulnerable once they are with that gun. People are not scared of them or their uniform. It's that gun they are scared of. So I even think before police officers will actually start holding AK-47, they should have used probably up to 5 to 10 years in the force. They should give them pepper gas or maybe pepper spray or something, or that wooden stuff. Even that's why they call them olopa. Or that okpa means that stick that they are holding is not gone. That's why they call them olopa in Yoruba language. So they actually should return back to the olden days. They were not carrying gun before. It was those sticks just to enforce law. They are law enforcers, not law breakers, and that is what they should be. It's not just you see police officer walking on the road with AK-47. Are we in Syria or we are in Afghanistan? It shouldn't be that way. So I think there should just be a total reform of the Nigerian police force. There should be a total reform. It shouldn't just be one training. Like you've done one training, then you get into the force, then you start doing anyhow. There should be trainings at least like 5 years. Then you retrain them again on the happenings in the society, the recent ones. What are they teaching them in the police barrack, in the police colleges that they are going to? What are they telling them? What are they teaching them? That is what the government needs to look into. You see, when we have police officers that are kings of impunity, then the government, nothing can work. You drive on the road, a duty of a road safety or last man, the police officer would actually be doing it. They'll be telling you where's the particulars, where's this one, be checking your papers up and down. They will be looking for a particular fault in your papers that they used to nail you down. And actually have them as family members as well. But you can't just castigate all of them because they are good ones. I won't say my own family members are good ones as well. I don't know what they are doing at their workplace, so I can't vouch for them. I don't know if they have actually done such before. But we can't just, rubbish all of them. There are good ones as well, but the bad eggs have overshadowed the good ones. And those ones that are good, they are not being appreciated. They are not. There should be open appreciation for them. There should be award for those that have actually done well in the police force. There should be remuneration for them. There should be extra remuneration for those that have been doing well. So the bad ones will actually change their ways. And the government will actually pay them well, because when you pay them well, they won't come into the society to actually extort people and actually shoot people anyhow. There should be penalty. Like if you shoot your gun when you're not supposed to be shooting it,
you'll be killed.
You would be killed. One, even if you be retained in the police force, you would never ever be given a rifle anymore. Once you shoot that gun indiscriminately, you should never hold a rifle anymore if you want to remain in the police force. You will now go about with a stick. And let's just know that okay, this man holding a stick has actually killed someone before. Let us identify them. Let's identify them. This man now, we don't know his state, we don't know his family, we don't know anything about him. He knows that he has nothing to lose. Had it been his family, his house, I think by now maybe his house would have been burnt down or something. So the government should actually just do something about it. We have few comments here. Push Mom said OBJ had meant well for Nigerians after his failure of good governance as the president by bringing in a good successor, which also meant well for us, but couldn't stay to serve us. Yeah. People used to say that Yar'Adua was the best president of Nigeria, like the best president Nigeria ever had, but he didn't really, he used his tenure. He served for only 2 years, and in that 2 years, people were actually happy about his administration. He said OBJ supporting Mr. Peter Obi should know none of the past criminals, him included, won't be paid a kobo from our fund because we can't continue wasting our money on criminals, killers, and selfish people. Okay. 90Y said better exist. Lawless country recommended is suspended. What is? Okay, I don't know. Nigeria is a banana republic. Well, some people would say banana republic. Some people would say it's a zoo or something. But I actually know, in a sane country, things like this wouldn't be happening. Things like police brutality wouldn't be happening on a day-to-day basis. All right, let's move on to the next one quickly.
Man catches his wife about to get on a flight with another man. A man caught his wife waiting to get on a flight with another man and he confronted them. The wife had reportedly told her husband that she was traveling with her sister. However, the husband caught her at the airport with a man and told her that was not the sister she claimed she was traveling with. When confronted, the wife initially lied and said the guy with her is her brother, but her husband didn't buy it. She later opened up and said that she has been speaking with the man for the past 3 months. She then blamed her husband and told him he has not been giving her attention, which is why she is seeing another man.
Damn. What is wrong with people in relationships with infidelity? What is wrong with them nowadays? We've seen, there has been a hike, like extreme hike in infidelity in relationships nowadays. I won't talk about marriage because I'm not married yet, so I'm not qualified to talk about infidelity in marriages. Though we have our viewers who are married, we have most of them who are married watching us. What do you feel? What do you think is the cause of infidelity in marriage now? What do you think? Because in recent times, things that don't happen before is now happening. I don't think people now respect even the marital vow or something. Probably they just feel like it is nothing. What's actually wrong with people in relationship with infidelity? What's wrong with them?
I think it's greediness.
Greediness.
Well, if you think the man is not doing enough for you, why can't you call the man or probably call the lady and probably should have a discussion? Exactly. And if there is no change, you can leave. It's not when you not be okay. Probably the woman does not want to lose the husband and does not want to lose. She said because the man had not been giving her attention. It's a thing you could have called. Okay, when she was traveling, I'm very sure she sat to the man down and be like, I'm traveling now. She could have probably like that. She could probably like that. Okay, sit the man and be like, babe, I don't like this thing has been happening and I want you to change. Like you have not been giving me the attention I needed. And I need your attention. It's a communication. And if the man is not willing to give you the attention, and it's a consistent one, and you're not comfortable with it, then leave.
Then just break up. Well, I think it's just something else because, well, I'm not in a relationship, so I wouldn't know why people in relationship would be so, would engage in infidelity. What I just believe is that if you're with someone and you're not feeling the person's vibe anymore, call the person out. Tell the person this is what you used to do before. You've been doing this thing, you've been talking this way, but all of a sudden, probably you would actually be waiting for the person for like a few days, and months or weeks. You feel like for the past 3 weeks, for the past 1 month, I have noticed a change in your attitude and your character towards me. What's going on? Are you going through a hard time? Are you having a problem with your work? What's going on? Then the person's response will actually determine what you would do. And this is what I actually do in relationships. I don't imagine, I don't assume, I don't feed forward. I would call you, what's going on? Then I'll give you a deadline. If you don't give people deadline, you end up, even destroying yourself in relationship. You need to start giving people deadline. Just say, okay, let's say for the past 3 weeks, your character has changed. You don't even give me attention anymore. You don't call me like before. You don't do this, you don't do that. It's not as if you are nagging. It's two people. It takes two to tango. And if it's working, if you are the only one putting your effort in the relationship without the other person's effort, then it's just about when would the relationship crash. It's not about if. Now it is when. That means the relationship is actually on a time bomb, just waiting to explode. So I think if anyone is in a relationship right now, just call the other person if you are not feeling the vibe anymore. Tell this person, okay, for the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I've not been feeling you. What's up? What's going on? And you can just give the person a deadline, like if by the next 2 weeks or 1 month you don't change, then we'll be out of this relationship. Once that person knows that this is the consequences of my action, if my action continues like this, I would lose this babe or I would lose this guy. And if he or she does not change their character or their actions, then you have your answer. Then if you leave the relationship, you should leave officially. It's not as if you are in a relationship, then you are looking for another person to comfort you. And I think the other guy in the picture as well, it's just a tool. It's just a tool to console the lady. I think if the guy is very wise, if he's wise enough, he would know that it's just a tool. Because if this man didn't reduce his attention, he wouldn't come into the picture. And once they are together and this one brings back his attention, that means she will be running back. But why would people actually do such thing? Why? Though everybody wants attention and the likes, but you won't surely get this attention forever. It's not possible. The person that you are expecting attention from, the person is also expecting it from maybe you or someone else. Who knows if this lady didn't give the guy attention? Who knows? Nobody knew. But she actually said it boldly, like, you didn't give me attention, then that's why I've been seeing this guy for the past 2 months. Just break the relationship and just get out of it instead of cheating. Cheating is not actually the solution to any relationship or marital problem. Just, it's very mature of you to actually call the person, give the person a deadline. If you don't change in 2 months' time or 3 months' time, you will be out of this relationship. It's as good as that. You will actually keep your ego intact. Then your respect will be there. then if you leave, by then the person would know that you've told them before you leave. Not just like ghosting someone, or I've actually been in that kind of situation before. I was just like, she's babe, they whine me. You're having problems with your relationship, then I came into the picture. Though right from the start, I've had this thing at the back of my mind, like this girl will go back. This girl will go back. Because the caliber of would I say a ex or a boyfriend? Maybe I'm the side. Maybe I was the side guy or something. Okay, let me use the guy as ex. The position of our ex, I saw our ex's picture and I can actually perceive how the guy is doing well more than I am. He's even older than me. So I was just like, okay, now that they're having issues, so you want to use me as a backup or just to catch cruise. Oh, wow, that's good. So by then I didn't really put my mind in it. So I was just waiting for her to go. And she actually did. In less than 3 months, she left. I was just like, okay, very good of you. So it was just so childish. It's not actually okay. When someone is doing something bad to you, call out the person and just tell the person. Most problems in relationships now, I think it boils down to communication.
Yeah.
Because communication started the relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
Just hi, what's up? Good morning, good afternoon. You look beautiful and the likes. That was what started the relationship. And once you remove that constant interaction and communication, then it's just about time when the relationship will go down the drain. Well, that's all we have for you today. We've talked about so many things today. You can be part of this program by dropping your comment. We talked about Obasanjo endorsing Peter Obi for presidency. We talked about Obasanjo. What do you feel? Do you think Obasanjo can actually make Peter Obi the next president of Nigeria? And the IGP recommending immediate suspension of ASP Drambi Vandi, the killer of Miss Omobolanle Rahim. The killer of Miss Omobolanle Rahim. What do you think? The IGP recommended immediate suspension. He didn't order it. He should have ordered immediate suspension of this police officer. But he recommended suspension, like you can suspend him, or if you don't feel like, he can stay. So what does that mean about this case? And also the guy that was shot dead at this Ajiwe police station on December 7th. What do you think about his case? Would it be swept under the carpet like that? Because right now people are not talking about it anymore. And then we are yet to even see any police officer being apprehended, or the police actually coming out to show us a picture of the killer of this guy. Again, ASUU and Gbadabiamila are at loggerheads over their payment of salaries during the strike. What do you think about it? Let us have your opinion. Let's have your opinion on what we've discussed so far. All right. That's what we have for you today. We have 39 people watching us right now. 39 people watching us. You can be part of this program by dropping your comment, and also you can do well to like this program. We're talking about Peter Obi being backed by Obasanjo. What do you feel? And also the G5 governors. What do you feel about the G5 governors? Would they be backing Peter Obi, or they would be supporting Tinubu? If you have your reasons, you can drop it and let us discuss today. Do you feel they would actually back Tinubu? Because I personally feel like if they back Tinubu, they have more to gain personally than backing the Labour Party candidate. What do you feel? What do you think about it?
If they back Tinubu, they have more to gain.
Personally?
Of course. We wouldn't have more to gain if anyone should support Tinubu. Tinubu is actually... Okay. Let's leave aside the other issues that people are tending to ignore. Tinubu is a well-known politician. He's a guru when it comes to politics. Yeah. So, of course, they will have more to gain when they support Tinubu than supporting Peter Obi. Let's face the facts. The facts here. If they support Tinubu, they have more to gain.
Probably money, appointment, and the likes.
But Peter Obi is I think...
Peter Obi said he's not giving out anything to anybody.
So that's it.
And they have the crowd to vote for people. So actually, I think they won't want to give out their support just like that. And also, if they actually support either Tinubu or Peter Obi, I think they will have more to gain than supporting Atiku, who is their own presidential candidate. Because if they support Atiku, which they ought to have been supporting before, but because Atiku didn't dance to their tune, Atiku reneged on their agreement, because they said Ayu should resign because the president can't be coming from the north, and also the PDP chairman coming from this same north. Then what would you give to the southern people? Just the vice president. And the vice president post, most people know that this is just a ceremonial post. It doesn't really stand firm like that, because it depends on the president to actually do things. Alright, well, that's what we have for you today. That's all we have for you today. Thank you all for joining us on this program. We have 37 people watching us. You can also do well to like this program to do well for our channel. Alright, we'll come your way tomorrow on another exciting edition of Lagos This Morning. You can do well to join ChristianChukwu on the next program by standards. Till we'll see you again tomorrow on this program. I'm Olajide Taufik Olamide.
I am Adeni Adela. Thanks for watching Lagos This Morning.
Bye.
Bye.
100 naira, let's go,